Today we have Victor with us, founder of Lava Art, a company started 7 years ago and now is doing millions of revenue. And that story is kind of what we're gonna hear today. So let's get started. Maybe we should go from the start, like Lava Art. Tell me, how did you come up with Lava Art, and what is it for listeners that don't know about Lava Art? Tell me.
All right, so Lava Art is a cosmetic brand that actually became a reality just by random, like totally random. So the funny part is that I moved to South Korea when I was 30 and wanted to just experience it. Actually, I was just supposed to go there for 2 weeks holiday with some friends and just take a look. And then South Korea just kind of engulfed me. And those 2 weeks became 12 years. So I never left and started to work remotely on everything. But still I needed office. So I started to transport lots of my employees at that time because I was running a health supplement company. And also we had an agency, or what is this in English? Agentur.
Yeah, like a talent management.
Yeah, kind of we were an agent for a telecommunication company, so we will sell like systems for them on phone. So we had like a whole office with voice over IP setup in Myeongdong in South Korea, and I think we were like 18 people from Norway that was actually calling in nighttime from South Korea to the Nordic market. Like really weird setup, and at that time I was setting up a health supplement company, and did a couple of health supplement company, and one of the employees came to me just by random whiff, and she said, "Hey, why don't you do some Korean cosmetic? Korean cosmetic is on uphill and it's doing really good. Like it's so popular." And I was like, "Nah, cosmetic is nothing for me. I'm a dude. What do I know about cosmetic? Maybe not be very successful in it like that." But she kind of kept insisting, "Hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you do this?" And I became very interested, and she presented a product for me that's actually we're selling now, like the concept itself. So this concept we selling has been in Korea for 20 years, 30 years already.
What's the concept?
So we selling foundation, and in a different way than the traditional foundation. So traditional foundation is like pump, brush, and you normally take a lot of time. It's a lot of mess. It's not very easy to carry like a pump foundation and brushes and all these kind of things around, and not necessarily always good for your skin. Because the thing is, like, if you're putting in the foundation, if you're using etheric oils like or extracts or oils that's good for your skin, like herb extracts or whatever, but that is oil-based, so that means you need to have an oil-based foundation. If you have an oil-based foundation, often that clogs your pores and you kind of destroy your skin over time. It doesn't let your skin breathe. But however, our product is water-based, but we have found a way to mix oil and water to go together. So we broke the nature, we broke universe. So with this setup, so now it's in a compact format, and you can use it, you can carry around. People love it. We have good reviews from customers. Customer really dig it, and we're happy to be able to serve our customers and give them a great product. We actually, like, a lot of people in cosmetic business or in the industry, they normally go to let's say a manufacturer. That manufacturer has a set formula where you maybe adjust tweaking a little bit, and you essentially just relabeling it, and you just creating a brand, and you're just selling that. Our brand, however, is not like that. So my wife is the one who made the product. She's a chemical engineer, and she's been with me, and she's the one who made the product. And she actually went all the way down to the very plants we using, and all the way down to the ingredients to build up the product as we do. So there's no formulation in the world that has that formulation as we have, and the way we built it, and it's all custom and very specific made. My wife, she used, I'm not joking, before we launched the product, we spent 1.5 year, 1 year, I think almost, 1.5 year. And she literally used all of the samples herself. And she said, if I'm not satisfied with it, I will not be satisfied with it. And I have used the product too. I slept with the product, and we and tested until we were like, okay, this is a quality product we can stand for, and we are really, really happy with it. And then we started to sell it. And that was a road. that was a rough road when we started to sell it. Like, wow.
So how did you go? Yeah. Tell me about the start. Like, first of all, like, because whenever I think about cosmetic brands, I feel like, okay, it must be a pretty huge investment just to get the first samples, the first batch, and then you sell it. Like, what's type of, tell me about that process. And
Yeah, so the type of investments you need to look into a cosmetic, I mean, like I said, it depends on how you do it, right? So if you go to a company, you just relabeling already existing brand or existing formulation that is the standardized all over the market, and you just essentially just putting your label on it, can be cheap, but the MOQ is normally quite high. So normally the MOQ start with 10,000 to 20,000 per color and nuance. However, we started with our product. I don't know why we did this, but that is the thing. I didn't know at that time that you could do that. And I'm so thankful. I'm so happy that I didn't know that time, because probably I would do the same, just relabel something and sell it. And I mean, and the quality would be a little bit whatever. But I'm so happy that I didn't know that. And we actually started everything from bottom scratch. So so the investment was pretty heavy. So I started, and I basically emptied out almost all my cash, all my savings, everything. I don't know why I did it, but I just had a really, really good feel on it. And I always thought like, okay, if I lose my money, if I lose everything, then I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? I need to just work and hustle back. That's the biggest risk. But that time I was young. Now I'm growing older. And now we're thinking about getting a family, me and my wife. So we're a little bit more like careful about how we're jumping into things. But yeah, that time we just went all in. We believed in the product. We spent, I can say in US dollars, several hundred thousands of dollars in just R&D and in just formulation, everything. And we and design, everything. Like, we just really, really believed in it. So we went in, and the first sale we had, we actually launched 2017 in 2nd of February. That was our first official sales day. I remember the first sale we got, and we sold the product for, like, at that time when we launched it, we sold it way too cheap. Much cheaper than we could actually. So first year we went with hardcore loss, and second year we went also with a hardcore loss. And this is because I had a vision and a dream. I wanted to be able to provide super quality for a very reasonable price to the customers. But I realized that, okay, if you're going to be sustainable, we need to also make money. Otherwise, we will not be sustainable.
Yeah,
yeah, right. So and since the way we formulated it and the way we built it up is more expensive, the manufacturing process we have is more expensive than just the standard, just taking and relabeling something. So we invested quite heavy. We started, and we sold the product for, at that time, 279 Norwegian crown for the product, and we paid
like $20.
Yeah, around there. Yeah,
$25 just seems pretty low. Yeah,
and we used, but the cost of the sales was 1,300 Norwegian crowns, $130. Oh man, I was in panic mode.
Was it through back then? Was this through Facebook? Was that the way to kind of acquire customers, and that was super expensive? Or how did you get the first clients, the first customers into your store?
Yeah, so we used Google, we used Facebook, we used Google display, like all this display ads and Facebook to acquire customers, and or Meta. We can say Meta products, the total spectrum of Instagram and Facebook. At that time, we did more Facebook than Instagram.
Right.
But we had so I didn't know anything about digital marketing at that time. So I had actually an agent or freelancer who worked for me. She was actually really good. She's super good and a very nice person. And we worked together. So the first sales was really, oh man, it was so expensive. Like we lost so much money. But I don't know, like 6 months into it, we started to do a little bit with influencers. Like if you can Google it and you will see like an influencer called Stina. She did some makeup and some like
A YouTuber?
YouTuber. Yeah, exactly.
I actually Googled lava art. I think like the 5th or 6th result was a YouTube from 2017. Get a lot of views. Maybe that's the one. But yeah,
It might be. Yeah. So after like 6 months, started to do that, and I went through, and I don't remember exactly. It was like a blogging company that managed influencer and bloggers and something like that. And I remember I paid to manage through them. I paid, like at the time, I think I paid like 20 or 30,000 Norwegian crowns as an investment for the influencers, and I was so nervous. I was like, "Oh man, this is so much money," because I already like 6 months. I've been like so, but I heard like, okay, you need to do some influencers, otherwise you will struggle. So we did. That was our first influencer shot, and I don't know what happened, but just a week after we launched, our CPA went from here to here. And suddenly we become massively profitable, and suddenly we got also massively traction, and we start to sell a lot, and we start to get lots of feedback from customers that they liked it. And we started to hire more content creators. So they created UGC, not necessarily posting on themselves, but just created a bunch of UGC. So we've been always using UGC all the time. We didn't really do studio material. Did a little bit, but with less success because it became too artificial. Like people love the natural, the organic look of it. People love that. Okay, this is actually the result you get, and we always been like very truthful about what is the result you get from the product. What is the I don't know, for better word, consequences of using our product. Like, what is the end result? And we've been always like very truthful about it. We never photoshopped or edited or like making anything look better or worse than what it. So that is one of the things I think customers, when they buying our products, they see what they get and they actually get what they see. So it's have an unrealistic expectation or
How do you? I mean, you say to me like we are a very unique product, and I get it, but it must be hard to be in your space and compete with all the giants and be able to say like, hey, buy our stuff because we are this and that. Like, how are you? Yeah, what's your strategy around that, or what has been the strategy to kind of be fighting with the big guys out there? I'm thinking about other cosmetic brands that probably have their own formula or something unique, but they still struggle to get sales, or just being unique in the way of their storytelling and everything else. Like, what's your secret around that? Like, what worked for you?
honestly, I think to be honest, I think it's a little bit about timing as well. So when I entered the market, Meta, Facebook, the CPM, the digital marketing aspect of it was much cheaper and a lot more or a lot less regulated by the governments. So we had a lot more data to work on, and that made us be able to fast pace the data. That way we scaled, it worked much better. And now it's if you're starting a new brand now and you just bootstrap yourself, wow, you have a long way to go compared to before. If you decide to go to the digital marketing route, if you're starting a brand now, I would highly recommend you to just do everything organic. That's what I would do, because the CPM, the everything in the paid media sector now is like so highly competitive, and unless you have a lot of cash behind you that will support your growth, it's very, very hard to sustain with paid media. So the best way that I would recommend people to do now compared to before is to before it was we had a strategy called 80-20. We did 80% paid, 20% organic. Now I would say 80% organic, 20% paid, in a reverse. If you can get traction with organic, you will be able to get traction with paid. If you cannot get traction with organic, you will not get traction with your paid either, because in essence, people will not see it. So that is one thing I would say, like, people should do now, today. And that's something also we internally be working really hard for, to transition into, to go more organic. We wanted to work directly with influencers. We want to work directly with our customers, to refer each other, to helping each other, and we're giving incentives for customers to do so. And so that is in our scope and plan for this year. Yeah.
Cool. But if you then are like a totally new brand and you want to do the 80-20 rule and going totally organic, what's organic? If you would just summarize that, you mentioned obviously working with influencers, but what's organic and how do you kind of get sales from that in the beginning?
I would say the fastest, quickest ways to get an impact, but you need to also remember, like, when I say organic, like, you have, when you do paid media and you using some UGC content, essentially that is an organic post. If you think about it, it's not more than just a post, but it's a different Facebook page, essentially the brand's Facebook page. But for a customer who's scrolling down and see that, she doesn't, like, I don't remember I ever looked at who is the one who posting. I just see the content. That's the first impression I have. And that is the organic part, in essence, paid way, pushing an organic part. Organic, however, you don't have the Facebook engine to push you the same way as paid media. So you need to have a more volume into it. So when you're doing organic, you need to be patient. Like, paid media, you can get literally direct results. Like, if you do Facebook, you either hit or miss. If you miss, you're gonna lose a lot of money, which is 90%. Like, I mean, our Facebook rep, I remember we had a discussion about this. I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but he at that time said that it's a reason, like, actually 90% of those who publishing ads on Facebook overall losing money, because it's that hard, it's that high level of competition. Only the unique and the few actually making profit of it, of only Facebook isolated. I'm just talking Facebook or paid media isolated. So yeah, I would go organic. I would spend next month. So if you have, let's say, 30,000 crowns, I'm using Norwegian crowns, like $3,000 a month. You have $3,000 a month in budget. I would allocate them to influencers, and I would rather build a strong influencer approach strategy. Like, how do you talk with the influencers? How do you get the influencers to represent your brand? How do you communicate with them? How do you identify the big traffic drivers? Because one of the biggest mistakes when you do influencer marketing, as I say, is that you only look at the direct sales. Like, okay, this influencer posted a post and I got 0 sales. Oh, I'm not going to work with her again, right? But you're not able to track, what did she do for your click rate? Like, how many clicks did she get? How much did she help you to expand your reach, expand the impression or reach for the audience? Like, how many more people did see your brand? How many people get to be aware of your brand? And this kind of things is super duper important. And especially now, as a CPM, the competition is very hard in the paid media. You need to have this element in place. And this is what I would suggest to anyone who's starting a new brand. Start with organic influencers, but don't expect oh, I posted with one influencer and I didn't get 100 sales or 1 million sales first day. That is like, just expect to never get any sales out of the influencers, but you know that they will give you brand reach. So when you, let's say after 6 months, when you start with digital marketing or paid media, you will be treated so much more nice by Facebook, because Facebook taking inputs based on what is people actually talking about, what do they like, etc., etc. So if people interacted with your organic Instagram, Facebook page, or your post in general, and they see that some certain posts getting a lot of activity, those posts reflect back into your ad account and give you a much better CPM, because in the auction you're much more relevant for the audience. And Facebook's first and foremost mission is to keep you online on the Facebook platform longest as possible, right? They need to do that. They need to serve the right content and the relevant content and the engaging content to their users. They don't care about you, whether you make money or not. They don't care about that. What they care about is that Facebook's users is staying there longest as possible. And if your content makes them view the video longer than average, or they sharing, or they clicking, liking, commenting, all this engagement will give you a reward from Facebook in the auction house when they're bidding against each other. So you will get much cheaper DPM, you will get much cheaper everything, because you're relevant.
That's interesting. I never heard about that. Yeah, I mean, just pushing for organic is something else I hear more and more. But I think maybe it's more because of the high CPM and CPA you're paying on Facebook, so you need to kind of do something more. But when it comes to like working with content creators, is it, how do you see that it's connected to your sales? Like if you can't attribute from discount codes, how do you kind of map that out? Or how can you get a good understanding, like, wow, the way we're working with 200 ambassadors is kind of helping our brand?
Yeah. So it will never be possible, like under any circumstances. If anyone come to you and say, hey, we have full control on the attribution, don't worry, we are like, trust us. If somebody say that, and they say, yeah, this is 100%. If they say that, just run. That is just a big fat lie. Even Facebook cannot do that. And Facebook is a huge, bigger company than any other who come and say, because they own the platform, right? And Instagram. And the thing is, only way you can actually attribute and view the direct sales is through coupon codes, links, or even a synthetic pixel. You can work with synthetic pixels at work, sniffing out sample and the links. So that is a way to do it. But if you want to just keep it simple, work on the market effort rate. Just see how much of your budget are you using, and how much are you allocating to influencers? How much are you actually allocating to paid media? And how much money are you getting back? So if you see, because paid media is more easy to track, correct, than organic. Organic, you need to use Google Analytics, you need to use different tools, and you need to matching the tool, and you need to kind of aggregate the data for yourself, and visualize your data. And that this is like, now you're going to a second degree of media buying and marketing, which most people who starting out doesn't know. You often need a data visualization teams and like all these kind of things, and to crunch this out, data scientists. But if you want to keep it simple, work with the market effort rate. Getting an attribution tool like I'm using something called AnyTrack is very easy, high level. It's not correct, like by any means 100% correct. It's like maybe some days it's like super incorrect, but still is good enough for me to making a decision for what I want to do. Because I don't care, like, because people talk about ROAS, return of ad spend, and like all these kind of pretty metrics. But what you care about is, okay, I spent in total $1, I earned total $3, I take $1 into myself. I paid $2 for $1 for the manufacturer and $1 for the marketing. Let's say that, right?
Yeah.
That's what you care about. You don't care about anything else. Whether that ads created 10x ROAS or 1x ROAS doesn't really matter. What do you need to see? The total market effort rate. How much is your allocated spend in total versus how many sales did you actually get versus how much did you actually pay in CPM, click, all these things. Then if you're having a knowledge about that and you can analyze a little bit about your data, then you should know where to push the money. Like organic cannot be put, there's no money to push. I mean, it grows slowly and steady. You cannot really like push anything. But for example, how I use organic to support my paid media. So like I said, market effort rate. So I have a certain ROI targets, but I don't care if the Facebook is the one who driving, Pinterest, Snapchat, or whichever channel, TikTok, driving this. So if I see, for example, let's say I'm getting a higher impression traffic or click traffic from Facebook, but the CPA or the ROAS on Facebook is really low, but the CPA is really, really high. But overall MER, because of the organic, I am on point. I might even put more money behind on my paid media because organic is actually supporting me to reduce down, and I can even extract my reach even more. So we make more money by spending more, but we don't really care about individual points where we say, okay, Facebook need to be X, TikTok need to be X, or organic need to be X. We don't care about that. We look at an overall MER.
I think that's just to simplify. I think I love that. Just without going into details for any founder out there, just think of the whole picture. Like marketing spend overall, is this, do I get back the money basically, or even some profit? Then it makes sense because, like you said, it's hard to know. It's hard to track all the touch points. If you close down Facebook because it's too expensive, because you see TikTok is maybe the CPA is so much lower, and you get everything from TikTok. But if you close Facebook or Meta, it will probably affect this too. But you don't know really, right? Like you cannot know all the touch points. You need to have the whole machine running. And I like the way you just simplify everything. Just think of the total marketing spend and see how much you get back. And if that's positive and you can pay your manufacturer and just be, profitable, then it's a running machine. You should just keep it going.
Exactly. So I have to also emphasize that like email marketing. So this is the few thing I will say just is really, really important. Get your organic in place. That means the social media marketing, because that's the fastest organic response. And then the SEO will take long time because that is like really long gameplay. And the third is I would say do paid media, and the third is email marketing, and the fourth is paid media. Paid media is something you can do all the way last. Google, it's paid media, but that's something you should have first. But I'm talking about Facebook, TikTok, like putting money behind it, and just put that on the last. I would say, because if you can get all the traction from everything I mentioned before, then the paid media will be like just a breeze in the park. Like you put money, and everything else will just help you to just keep yourself profitable. But if you just do paid media, you're messed up. Oh man, you have a hard time. It's really, really going to be a tough time. Like seriously. If you have organic, if somebody come to me and say, hey, I have a company, I have an organic company. I'm selling XYZ, like 10 sales a day. It's organic and it's growing. And another company said, oh, I'm selling 50 a day. It's only paid media. And they ask for money from me for investment. I will 10 out of 10 days, I would invest in that organic company.
Yeah. I hear from many founders now, they feel like we cannot be too dependent on Meta or like any paid channels, we need to do more organic or just have something else, because it's scary when the competition becomes higher, or they just change algorithm. You never know. You cannot control their machine. But how did you now you've done this for many years, but when they did the changes with Meta and the privacy with iPhone and everything,
Yeah.
how did that affect you guys? How did you change? You've probably seen more changes the past year too. Like, how do you face those challenges?
So yeah, the 14.5 was a big change for us because we became actually data blind. So that year we spent almost 150% higher on our paid media than what we in the budget and normally, just to discovery. And we noticed that we just bled a lot of money. Oh man, that was a tough time for us. And of course there was a lot of like attribution tool. Oh yeah, use our attribution tool and you will be saved. But nothing worked really. Like essentially, like they don't have more data than you have. They just kind of visualize it, and they're just making their own concept to it, but it's not real. But yeah, I'm really actually like, when that 40.5 happened, was really upset because I was so into Meta. But now I'm super happy because Meta, like, because of that iOS 14.5 change, it forced us to become better at marketing and media buying, not just put on ads and just click play and everything just happened on the back end. Now we need to actually, the way we're testing, for example, messaging to our customer, like how we're testing our messaging. Like, for example, if you want to give a message to our customer, like how we're testing that, how we're getting impression with the customers, and how we're building the organic relationship with the customer. We started our own VIP group with our customers that we're filling up and interact with them there. All these kind of things get forced us to do that in after iOS 14.5. But I think after that, it kind of challenged us, and now we are becoming more a stable company than before. Before we were like so reliant on Meta. If something happened, we were shut down. Like, I mean, Meta is kind of known to block people and ban people in left and right. And luckily that never happened with us. But if that happened to a company that's 100% reliant on Meta, oh man, tough life.
Yeah, but I heard that too. Like it's whenever you get into those type of challenges, you just need to be a lot smarter. And what's nice when those kind of things happens is that the ones that are just not on top, maybe not the best brand company, they will kind of disappear, and the best one is still alive because they're testing new stuff. And I like the VIP room. Like, what's the format around that? Is it like an Instagram?
Yeah. So
like
now,
what format is that?
Yeah. So right now we just have a Facebook VIP group where we're sharing like discounts, offers, and news and new releases, or like just tips and tricks on the product, or some fun stuff, just to engage with our customers, to have a place where our customer can talk with us and communicate with us, not only through a support channel, like where is an email, because we've been very strict with having an email or chat, because we're selling in a lot of countries. We're selling in whole Europe, US, and Australia, and Canada, and Singapore, New Zealand. Is that correctly pronounced? New Zealand is probably not pronounced like New Zealand. But yeah, so we're selling around, and it's very hard for us to stick to one language, and phone support would not be viable for that. So we do everything written, but we have also now a Facebook group that people can communicate with us. They can give us feedbacks. They can give positive, negative feedbacks, and all these kind of things. And it's a good place. It's growing fast. We launched it for some few months ago, and now several thousands is active in there. We keep still building it up. at some point we having a plan. I having a strategy and plan. I cannot tell about it right now, but we having a plan with also this group how to give more value to our customers, and by giving more value, we also getting back value. I believe like after what is really a really cool thing that happened after the 14.5, as you said, those company who didn't deserve to be alive, they kind of died out. Is that those companies who survived is the companies who provide value. Those companies who didn't provide value, they just disappeared, like typical drop shippers and all this kind of things. It just disappeared out of got weeded out. And the typical brands, people with the quality products and quality service and value mindset survived because the customer supported them.
Yeah. But and I like the whole VIP. I mean, I know you cannot share your plan around it, but I think something I've been thinking a lot about is, which is interesting. Brands give so much discounts and good offers to new clients or new customers because they just want to get them into the VIP room or just the customer base. But the ones that are buying more and more and being loyal, they get nothing. Like, sure, you have some loyalty points and all that, but in a way, if you're new, you get better deals, and if you're loyal, you just loyal, right? So I think that's an interesting space to work more on. Like, how can we just give so much more value to your existing customers, and they will help you get new customers in a way.
Yeah. So we changing up something. So for our loyal customers, we're gonna launch out a new program just for our loyal customers and existing customers. We aren't sure. We are still discussing in the think room if we're gonna launch it for everybody or if we're gonna launch it to some of you. And that is a type of a model where our loyal customer is getting almost I cannot say exactly, don't quote on me on this, but as we're working it out now, it's gonna be such a cool thing that you never seen any cosmetic brand do before. And it's not about oh, this is a fancy gimmick here or like this, but it's actually just directed to the customer that, wow, I'm getting so much value by buying products from Lava Art that I want to still buy the products here because I'm getting so much back in that kind of sense.
I'm looking forward to hearing about that later. And when it comes to doing your journey now, like what will you say was your kind of biggest mistake where I felt like, oh, I should not have done that? You learn from it, and maybe a mistake that other founders can learn from it, hopefully avoid.
Yeah, my biggest mistake from my journey is that I looked for shortcuts. Henceforth, I trusted so many agencies throughout my lifetime, like the media buyers, and they did this and they did that, and everybody come with like these promises. Yeah, we're gonna 10x your revenue. We're gonna give you 1 million sales, and we are like the best of the best of the best. And that is one thing I learned. Don't trust anyone who say they're gonna 10x or whatever your money if they don't even know you. Don't trust agencies in general. Sorry for all the agents out there, unless they have a massive track record. And the thing is, agencies are so expensive and biggest gamble for a new brand, because the thing is like they're starting a new brand and normally agencies charge you 2-3K a month just to managing your account. And what I learned from my years in this field is that most agencies actually they maybe are hiring juniors, like bunch of juniors, and you end up in there and they overcharge you and you're getting absolutely no attention. So essentially you're going like, let's say 2-3 months and you see that you get nothing back, but you can never reclaim those money you already lost. And that is a huge dent, especially for new starters. So my biggest advice is if you don't want to work, and if you don't want to get your hands dirty, and if you don't want to put your own effort into it, just don't start a business. I mean, like there's a lot of lot of other things you can do, like sit in. I mean, you can work in another business or be an employee, because that is the thing. Like, if you want, being a businessman and being a business owner is not just walk in the park and everybody looking at those. Oh yeah, but what about this guy? He's a business owner. He's driving a Ferrari. He's so cool. Yeah. The thing is, being a business owner, you never turn off. It's 24-hour. You sleeping work, and even now, after 7 years of running this cosmetic business, I still wake up in the middle of the night and I have an idea how to optimize this. And I just wake up and I need to write it down and I need to start to work on it. Like 2 a.m., I can wake up in the middle of the night, or I wake up in the morning and I say, "Oh shit, I have this idea. Oh, I need to do that." Or I worry about something. Oh, is this campaign gonna work? Is this product gonna work? Is this gonna be okay? Is our customers happy? Are our customers satisfied? How can I make them more happy? How can I attend to them more? Like, there's always something, and I promise you, if something gets fixed here, I promise you something will break there over there, and that is the fun with the business, like, because there's always a challenge and it's always you develop yourself as a person as well. But don't start a business if you think, okay, this is a short road to make money. If you're actually just starting a business because you think it's like, okay, I'm just gonna make quick bucks and exit like that. I mean, it can happen. I'm not gonna say never, right? But if that's your intention, it is a reason why 95% of the new businesses fail their first year. And that's something to consider. But
Yeah.
if I'm gonna give a best advice, start lean, start poor. Even though you have a lot of money when you start, just put it away. Just put yourself in a lean position. Learn everything that you want to hire other people for. You need to have a certain level of expertise in digital marketing if you're gonna hire a digital marketing agency. Otherwise, you will not know how they screw you over. You need to know about email marketing if you're going to hire an email marketing agency. If you're going to social media marketing or influencer marketing, organic marketing, you need to learn what is the how to say the strategies and what is the basics. Like, you need to know the basics at least, and you should be able to run your own business and make your own business profitable by yourself. Because seriously, like $0 to the first $0 to 0 to 6 figures, you should be able to do everything yourself. Writing, except for like maybe coding and like these kind of things if you don't know about that. But I mean, you have Shopify, you have so many different platforms. That's very drag and drop, easy CMS, and you should learn learn graphic design, simple graphic design, hire UGC, get UGC content, all this kind of thing you can do yourself. The first 5 years of my business, I did everything myself. I literally did everything myself. I learned how to send emails. I learned how to run our email campaigns. I learned how to run our Facebook, Instagram. I learned how to do our Google. So I know like how to run everything. So if my team have any questions, I can actually give them fair opinion instead of like, yeah, this is something I Googled. I think this is a good idea to say. And it's basically you gambling, and it's a hit or miss if you rely on other people still.
I was about to say all that. I love it. I mean, you don't have to be an expert within every field or marketing, manufacturing, everything, but you need to know the basics, and you need to done it yourself. Otherwise, you will never know if that agency or whatever people you hire actually know what they're doing. So it's kind of like knowing the basic. If you feel like you want to invest more here, sure, you can excel and think you're an expert, but then you know at least what you can expect here. And you know if it's really bad, you cut it and then you invest someone else. So yeah, and I think being a business or entrepreneur or whatever, it's a hype. It's many people want to be in the space. It's fun. But I think you need to realize that you will never be quiet, nice, being on a beach, or like I can work for wherever I want, like whenever I want, or wherever I want. That's not like you need to really like the ups and downs and be comfortable with everything. So yeah, I love your advice.
It took me 6 years to come to the point where I now can have a little bit more freedom. It took me 6 years. Like before that, I'm not joking. The first 5 years, I literally worked 12 to 15 hours, 7 days a week. And even my honeymoon with my wife, we went for a delayed honeymoon. I had to cancel that short because our freelancer who did the ads for us, she quit at the same time as I was on honeymoon. So I told my wife, hey, our honeymoon is over. And I was remaining we were in Vietnam. We were supposed to be there 7 days. 4 out of those 7 days, I was just sitting in front of a computer and I study how do I launch Facebook ads. That's like, how do I do marketing? I was just like watching videos, YouTube, Googling everything I could to get to a position of like some knowledge. And I used this was my first time when I did Facebook ads. I made in one ad set, people who do paid media, they will just laugh at me now. I made 50 ads in one ad set, and I just put money, and I just totally didn't know what I did. And sometimes I got sales, sometimes I didn't. And I maxed out my ad account, I think 25 times, like with max ads. And you can produce you can produce some few thousand, I think up to 10,000 ads. And I maxed it out 25 times since I started, because I just overproduced. I did so many wrong things, but that is a part of the journey. Now I know what I'm doing, and that's so yeah. Now I'm still working with the ads a little bit, helping the team to scale up. But now I have team for everything. We have a full graphic team. We have everything like in teams. However, we have 0 employees in our company, and that is a decision I made. Like during the COVID, when it came, we just canceled all of our offices. We went total online, and we fired everybody and rehired them as freelancers. So now we're a bunch of people working with Lava Art as freelancers or contract based. But still they get treated as their employee. But they have this benefit, and this is something everybody should have when they're working as a contractor. You work when you want. We don't care. We don't care how many hours you put in, whether it's 1 hour, 10 hour. We don't care if our team taking a holiday for 365 days or not. We don't care. We don't really care about anything. We make sure that they're getting paid. That is really important for us, that they're always getting paid. Never delayed or anything mess. That is something, because that is something. If you're starting a business and whether you get a contractor or employees, always respect your employees and contractors and pay them in time. Don't if you say like, oh, but I have a little bit less money, I should take that money and I will pay my employees later. Just close down your company instantly, because this is people that trust you and putting their life online to help you grow your business, and you need to give that respect back. So that's and that is something. That is something we have 0 employees in our company, but altogether I think we are around now 40 people, 45 people who are working actively in the company. Everything from fulfillment to marketing and product development, manufacturing. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I love your energy. I love all the advice and everything. It was super great talking to you, and thanks for sharing the whole story with Lava Art.
Sure, man. My pleasure.